So this video is to highlight how the GDPR settings are now used in the retailer by a sales executive or manager. So anyone loading a new customer or maybe amending an existing customer. So we've got a customer here that we've loaded. So if we click continue, it will obviously ask us to put into the address and a contact number. And an email address if you have one. And then when you click next, it takes us into the policy that we've loaded. So we've got the Jaguar GDPR policy, because in this case this is Jaguar's system that I'm using. So we have the manufacturer's GDPR policy, and we also have the retailer's policy as well. So first of all, the Jaguar policy. So you can see here we've got the policy, and we can set all of these to yes or no very quickly. Or if the customer wants to be a lot more specific, then they can say, okay, well, I'd like to opt out of phone and SMS, and I'd like to opt out of post and social media for that one. So we can see how easy it is to actually get the opt-ins and opt-outs. Method of consent. So we're going to say that the customer's been into us today and given us their preferences. So face-to-face. Processing and profiling. So if you want to stop customer processing and profiling, then it will ask you for a reason as to why. So what this does is it actually puts a kind of a flag in the database for this customer. So if you then go in to export the record, then it will show that the customer has requested to have the processing and profiling ceased. So this is things like gender, age groups, things like that you might choose to say, okay, well, let's market these types of customers. So you can actually stop that from happening. And then customer suppression. Again, when you tick the box, it will ask you for a reason why you're enabling suppression. And what that does is that stops all communication from the, in this case, the brand, or if you're doing it into the retailer system, from the group or retailer. And suppression is maybe a short-term way of stopping that customer from receiving anything. If there is maybe a claim against you for any reason, and you want to just cease all that contact for a short period of time, or indefinitely, if that's the case may be. So then we click next, and it takes us through to the motor groups or the retailer's privacy statement. So very short policy notice, but you'll see that when on the GDPR setup, this is the one that I added in. And again, we can set them all to no or all to yes, and we can just quickly make any changes if needs be. Again, method of contact, method of consent, sorry, I'm going to put as face-to-face because the customer's been in. We don't need to go through processing and profiling or suppression at this point because it's a brand new customer. So this would only not regularly be used after the customer's maybe had some contact and would like to then opt out at a later date. So if we click save there, that then takes us through to add an inquiry. So if we just pop an inquiry into here, okay, and that's then in the calendar for us to continue with. Okay, so what I also wanted to show you is an existing customer perhaps that's been in before. So this customer, Charlie Thompson, has been in before. So we're going to go into here. Now, earlier on this morning, I created the GDPR setup video. And in that video, I changed the policy statement, the privacy statement, which, because I've made that change and this customer was put on before the change to the privacy statement, it's asking me for do I want to go through the new policy privacy statement with the customer so he can opt in and opt out with the latest version. So if I say no, then it's going to keep asking me until I do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click yes, which will then take me through and shows me version 4. So he Charlie Thompson opted into the topics using the privacy statement 3.1, but now we've got 4 in here. So we just go through it with the customer, and we just go through and we can update, or you can see here, use same options as previous consent version, which all you do is just click on that and you can see it. Just it just takes the previous consents and just adds them into this new one, which is a really quick way of doing it. We're going to say that the customer's maybe been on the phone today, okay, and then you can see previous versions. So you can see the times that I've changed his notice version, and then we can do the consent profiling and suppression, etc. Okay, you also have the ability to download. So if we go into that and just show you what that looks like, just make that a touch bigger. So here you can see the customers, this is the customer's record for GDPR. So we've got the name, we've got the details, we've got the statement here and what he's opted in and opted out of, and then the captured time, etc. So you can see it's quite easy to let the customer know of exactly what they've opted in and out of. And again, with the previous versions, if I wanted to have a look, I can view that just by clicking onto the information icons. So it's very simple to access. Now you can see also that we've got general consent and future marketing. Now the future marketing wasn't available to the customer beforehand because again, it's something I added in today and Charlie Thompson was added in yesterday. So yesterday he would have opted into just general consent. Today we've now got to opt him in or go through the future marketing with him. So as I hover over that, it says, would you like to be kept updated on any offers that are relevant to your current vehicle or vehicles that you have inquired on? And also we would like to invite you to any events where discounts can be used to reduce the value of a prospective purchase. So these are ones that the customer can opt in and out of. So if I set these all to no, for instance, and then use the previous consent version, well, there wasn't any because, as I said, it's only been added in this morning. So sometimes you'll come into this. If I would recommend you always click on use same as previous and then just make the amendments while the customer's with you as to what they would like to opt in and opt out of. And then once we click save to that, that's the customer record saved, and then we can obviously go in and add a new inquiry or update the customer's record inquiry, etc. Thanks for your time.